Story number 1. I quit dealing after I was mocked. I'm not proud of this, alright? I'm not proud of this, truly. I'd like to start off by saying that this does not make me happy at all. So, I'm a girl, I'm 27 years old, and I have a family and we're super close. When I was in high school, my aunt was dating this guy who seemed really wealthy. But no one really knew what he did. I think anyone could have guessed, though. I asked my aunt to introduce me to her boyfriend, and we talked about how I could work for him. Without going into much detail, he let me work for him. I sold to some people I knew. I went to high school in an area where there was a lot of drugs. I knew a few boys who claimed they were already using this stuff. I offered to sell it to them, and surprisingly, they had really big orders for me. I didn't ask any questions, I just went along with it. I was making about $3,000 a month from this. Not enough to retire or anything, but definitely more than most 27-year-olds made. I never made a point to flaunt my money or anything. I think I kept it well hidden. At least I thought I did. What bothers me is that there's no way of knowing. One Saturday morning, I walked over to my friend's house for a birthday party. Not a wild one or anything. Just a cute little breakfast. On my way home, this guy I had never seen before pulled over and got out of the car. He was well dressed and a bit older. When he got out of the car, I thought he was a cop. He was acting like a cop. I was ready to surrender because I didn't think I could make an escape. But then he pulled out a switchblade and said to give him my purse. He said something like,
"Hey, don't, girl. I know you have money. It's okay, it's okay. We can make this easy if you just give me your purse."
Again, I can't really explain this, but that just felt like such a cop-like thing to say. "Don't act dumb, girl. I know you have money. It's okay, we can make this easy if you just give me your purse." I don't know if you've ever been in that kind of situation, and I hope you haven't, but you kind of just freeze when someone surprises you like that. It's not really fear, your body doesn't know how to react. I almost think my body didn't let me get too scared, because if it did, then I would have a heart attack. Like my body said, wait until it's safe, then panic. First, I think I felt relieved that he wasn't actually a cop. Thank goodness for that. Second, when he said it was okay and that we could make it easy, it actually calmed me down a little bit. So I managed to say, okay, can I just give you my cash? My purse has my phone and pictures and other stuff. He said okay to that. I opened my purse and took out all the cash. I had about 200. He watched me closely as I did it. He took the money and said something like, "If you tell anyone, I will find out." And he left. I felt really calm the rest of the walk home. The next morning it hit me that I had been mocked. That's when the panic set in and I started shaking and crying. Even as I'm writing this story now, it gives me the chills. I had never seen that guy before. When he said, "I know you have money," I don't know if he meant that he knew about my dealing or if he was just trying to scare me. Honestly, I'm really glad this all happened because it made me get out of that business at the right time. Things were only going to get more dangerous from there. It's still scary thinking about it, but that guy saved me without even realizing it. I told my aunt's boyfriend what happened and that I was too scared to keep doing this trade anymore. He told me to send all my customers to him instead. I did, and that was the end of it for me. It's been almost 10 years now and I haven't looked back since.
I think it was a setup. Someone who bought from you told their homie, yo, this girl deals, she got hella cash on her, and had him go rob you.
That's possible, but I feel like I would have found out then. Especially teenagers can never keep their mouths shut. If that had happened, I feel like there would have been at least gossip about it. There was none, but you're right, it's possible.
Damn, I wonder how he knew. Maybe he was the parent of one of the kids you sold to.
Oh my god, you're totally right. That's possible. Oh my god, me too. I want to know how he knew. I've thought so much about that. Honestly, my best guess is that he didn't know. I think he was just driving around looking for someone to steal from. A young woman with a purse walking down the street by herself is an easy target. If I hadn't been there that day, my guess is that he would have kept looking and found someone else. That has crossed my mind, that he indeed was a parent to one of the guys I sold to. But I don't think so. I actually knew those kids kind of well, so I knew what their families looked like. It's possible that someone from the birthday party sent him, like this girl's walking home from the party and has a purse. She's wearing a blue floral dress and her purse is brown. She might have money. See if you can catch her. She's going that direction. But I think that most likely he was just looking for victims and found me. Wrong place, wrong time. But I'm really grateful it happened because it got me to leave that business.
What weapon was used to attack you?
It was a kind of switchblade. I can't really say more than that since it happened really quickly and I don't know that much about the different kinds. I know the blade was black and not silver, but I don't think that really helps. Also, he didn't actually attack me. It was just to intimidate me.
You don't live anymore in that neighborhood. If I were you, I would have moved away a while ago.
No, I don't live in that exact neighborhood, but I live about 10 minutes away.
Did he care about you being mugged? I mean, was he indifferent about it?
He was kind of taken aback. It was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry that happened. It was kind of like, you can stop dealing if you want, no problem. But it's hard to say how much he cared. It's hard to measure something like that, you know?
Is your aunt still with him? Or did they break up long ago? If they're no longer together, what was the breakup like?
They broke up. I don't know too much about the breakup. My aunt was moving for work. She says that's the reason. I don't know if there is more to the story.
What would you say to silly and dumb teenagers idolizing this life? Be as graphic and as verbally explicit as you want.
I would say it's dangerous. I would say there is a lot of risk that you might go to jail. I would say that even if you don't go to jail, something is bound to happen that will give you panic attacks. Just think about it long and hard.
You theorized that it was some parent to one of the kids you sold. I would say it was a member of a rival gang, don't you think?
Did I say it was a parent? I don't think it was. I knew all my customers' families. My best guess is that it was just a random mugger looking for someone to steal from. I think he was just driving around and he saw a girl walking by herself with a purse. Perfect victim. I don't think he knew anything more than that. This wasn't really gang related. Also, my aunt's boyfriend definitely worked with a few gang members, but he wasn't in a gang himself. I feel like gang members have a different style altogether. I feel like the guy who attacked me was a drug addict and he was looking for someone to steal money from. Another possibility is that someone at the party knew this guy and told him where I was going. But I kind of doubt that too. The girls at the party were too well behaved. I think it was a random mugger. If he hadn't found me, he probably would have kept looking and found someone else.
I once saw this content creator called Jeremy Lynch play one character, a drug lord. The character was rude, ruthless, crude, impolite, aggressive, violent, and was willing to use little teens as cannon fodder and didn't hesitate to give parents a beating to keep teens in line. The fact that this one you met did that makes him kind of decent.
I certainly hope so. It's hard to call someone a decent person when they do that for a living. But it's not black and white. Story number 2. Man stole my plushie when I was little. I never really thought about this as a creepy story until I got some creeped out reactions when retelling it now as an adult, and I hope it fits here. This happened years ago, so I'll do my best to accurately describe it. I do have a pretty good memory of my childhood, so here it goes. I'm 28 years old and I'm a girl, but this happened when I was about 3 years old. I was with my mom at a grocery store or market. I was carrying a plushie with me, as I often did at that age, and holding my mom's hand with my free hand. It was a plushie of Tweety. While we were walking down one of the aisles, I dropped my plushie, and by the time I got my mom's attention and we turned to get the plushie, a man had picked it up. Instead of giving it to a worker or anything normal, he walked off with the plushie. My mom called out repeatedly in an attempt to retrieve the plushie, and we followed the man up until the entrance and exit of the store. At that point, my mom stopped following him. He got into his car and left without even having bought anything. A store security guard then came. He asked why I was crying, to which I replied, "Se llevó mi Tweety! Se llevó mi piolín!" He took my Tweety in Spanish. He asked my mom who took it, and she told him that the man had gone to the parking lot and gotten into his vehicle, but there was nothing the security could do at that point. Years later, I still remember this, and it makes me kinda mad to think about it.
That does feel very creepy enough.
My boyfriend says that it sounds like something a pedophile would do, and I said, "Ugh!" This of course disgusts me to no end.
I'm sorry that happened to you. It sounds really stressing for a young child to go through something like that. I can't imagine what my younger self would have done if some random guy came up and snatched a beloved plushie of mine. Apart from the bizarre behavior of taking your Tweety, did the guy seem off in any other way? I can't help but wonder if he had some neurological condition or intellectual disability. Then again, he could have just been a standard creep who saw an opportunity to run out with something free, regardless of whatever his reasons were. I'm sorry he took your Tweety. That really blows.
From what I remember, there was nothing else too off about him, although granted I was probably too young to have picked up on that, and we didn't see much of him. It would have made sense that he might have had some type of disability if it weren't for the fact that he had a car. And thank you very much for your kind words. Very strange experience for a small child indeed.
It seems like we tend to excuse bad or creepy behavior by thinking maybe someone isn't mentally well or they are off a bit. Your mum tried to get your stuffy back. It's good she stopped, and it's good you told her and an employee and didn't follow the man. I remember this guy coming up the car by my mum had left me and my brother in. I'm 39 now. So it was probably the late 80s, maybe early 90s. My mum went into a store for probably a few minutes. The elderly man started tapping on my window in the back seat. I remember either giving him the middle finger or waving him away without making eye contact. I also might have said, "Get away." ESP after my brother started to cry and was looking at him. I was like, "Don't make eye contact." My mom, who was usually worried about strangers, said he probably thought we were cute. I was not acting cute. I remember him tapping on the window like we were goldfish. He didn't seem concerned that we were in a car alone. I think he wanted us to open the door. I was scared and annoyed. Adults that are pervs or behave inappropriately with kids rely on kids being either trusting or not trustworthy when asked about them being creepy.
Even if he just thought you kids were cute, he should know that some kids get scared easily, and that he shouldn't do anything that might scare you more. I definitely wouldn't have gone after him, as holding my mom's hand was like a magical chain that held us together. At least in my mind.
I feel like he was probably trying to get you to chase him. If you was to, he'd probably have thrown the plushie in the back of his van or car, and when you went to get it, he'd shut the door.
He didn't have a van, it was just a regular car, and my mom was with me. I've always thought he was trying to get her to follow him, but of course, I don't know. And to be honest, I don't want to know. I just hope that creep didn't hurt anyone.
I'm sorry this happened to you. My mom would steal my toys and give them to neighbors or donate them.
Oh my god, dude, what the fuck? There is a right way to be charitable, and that's not it. Story number 3. Creepy man chasing me and my friend. I'm writing this on October 2024. I'm a girl. I'm 20 years old and I'm from Portugal. And I would like to start by saying hello everyone, hi there. I've told a few of my friends this story before, and I did get advice about posting it on here by a few friends. So let's begin. And I also apologize as English is not my first language. I was about 13 when this happened, and I lived right on the beach. If you walked about 1.5 kilometers down the beach from my house, you would get to a place where some ocean would be left behind to form a sort of lake, where me and a lot of friends liked to hang out. Next to it were 2 dirt roads. Anyways, I had a German Shepherd, and my mother used to kick me out of the house every weekend for a few hours to go play with the dog, which I did not mind. There was a cliff above the beach which you could take to walk to the lake, which was overlooking the beach, but covered in forest. And on that day it was particularly hot. I chose to spare me and my dog a hot walk and walk up in the forest. I've done this many times before and wasn't afraid at all. As I was walking, I hear muffled footsteps behind me. My dog was up far ahead of me, off leash, and I quickly realized that someone had to be sneaking up behind me because it was near impossible to walk on the dry foliage silently here. I quickly made run for it to the exit of the forest, seemingly hearing the footsteps becoming more audible behind me. No worries, I was out at the lake now. It was plain, open, and I could already spot a girlfriend of mine there. My dog was already in the water as I went to greet my friend, when we noticed a large man approach us. He must have been close to 2 meters and very slim. He started talking to us very kindly, and without knowing any better, we both were polite to him. I at the time did not associate the footsteps with this man, but later grew to. He asked a lot about us, where we were from, if anyone was here with us, and so on. And slowly, me and my friend got creeped out. We said our goodbyes, saying that we had to go off to meet our other friends and move to a further distance down the lake. We sat down for a bit and started talking when my dog started growling. She never used to growl, so this took me by surprise. I looked to see what she was growling at, and lo and behold, the man was standing around 50 meters behind us. Me and my friend had caught on now and moved again. Same thing, but it was closer now. We were getting freaked out by now. We were being followed, and we were all alone. My friend called her mother to pick us up, though she was at least an hour away. That meant we were stuck with this creep for an hour or so. Joy. The more we moved, the more he came closer. I had leashed my dog by now, as she was going completely rabid at this man. Every time we looked at him, he smiled back, as if we were some sort of close friends. He tailed us for a while until we saw my friend's mother's car arrive at the dirt road. Now this road was about 200 meters from us, and to get there we had to cross where the man was standing. We were terrified. Her mother saw the situation starting running over, which caught the man's attention, which meant it was her time to dash. I don't think any time in my life I have run that far, that fast. My dog was running with us, as I let her leash go, and when we got to the car, we hastily ran in, as the man ran towards us. We stayed in the car while my friend's mother called 112 and waited inside the car. The man was throwing rocks and wailing at us, eventually running off as the police arrived. When the police arrived, they questioned everyone and went looking for the man, but they never found him. I'm still terrified that he is in that forest, waiting for me. I didn't know that day my friend would be there, and I don't know what would have happened if she wasn't there. I didn't have a phone or any form of contact, and I'm pretty sure he would have gotten me if he would have won against my dog. So, to the creepy man who stalked me and tried to catch me and my friend, let's not meet again.
Your dog probably smelled bad intentions. If you're in public and you feel like you're being followed, never apologize for making a fuss or making a scene. It might scare off any evil potential danger. Glad you're okay and hope you never meet that person again. So scary, I'm sorry this happened. I hope he stopped doing this. I can't believe he had the guts to throw rocks etc. when you were with your friend's mom and in the car. That creep was most definitely stalking you. He just pretended to be friendly to gain your trust, but your dog wasn't buying his fake act. Thank goodness your friend called her mother to come get both of you. But that was truly a close call.
You are absolutely right. I don't know what I would have done had my dog not been there with me. I'm so grateful for my doggy being there.
Probablemente, gracias.